Welcome to Revolutionary Motion, where we show you tennis from a different perspective. Here's the easiest and most logical way for you to learn how to hit the ball harder. Think about the racket like a trampoline. If you have your racket on the ground and you bounce the ball right on top of the racket, the ball will bounce up pretty high. However, if you throw the ball into the racket from the side, it will not deform the racket quite as much, so there will not be as much of a back shot from the racket, creating power. Now, how can you use this information to hit your balls harder? Very simple. You want to try to oppose the direction of the ball directly. So your racket surface has to be perpendicular to the direction the ball travels in when you're making contact with the ball. Like that, the ball will go inside the racket, push the racket a little bit further, and create a longer contact point, which first of all means that now it will be swung out with more power, like in a trampoline, but also it will mean that now you have a longer contact point to actually create topspin or slice during the contact point by moving your racket on top or under the ball. This effect will help you without any other technical adjustments to hit the ball way harder than you did before. And how is it going to do that? Very simple. When the ball comes to you, if you're trying to create topspin, do not try to simply swing up on the ball and just barely scratch it. Like that, you can create a decent amount of topspin, but you will never create a lot of power. Instead, you want to make sure that the racket originally moves straight towards the direction of the ball, and once you make contact with the ball, that's when your racket turns on top of the ball to create the topspin, while it is being flung out at the highest possible speed that you could possibly create with your racket. To illustrate the trampoline effect to you guys, watch this. I'm trying to move my racket at a higher racket head speed, but the ball is not really going up very much because all my racket head speed just scratches the ball. If I, however, add a tiny bit of upward force, the ball immediately gets a lot higher up and still has the same amount of slice on it as it did before, because my racket is still moving forward at the same pace, but now I oppose the direction of the ball's fall and thus create a lot more force upward without actually trying to move my racket a lot faster, thus creating a lot more power in the process while not losing out on any spin. So how do you actually use this effect when you're playing a match? Very simple. You would tell yourself to step back a little bit further, since now you're trying to create a hard shot, right? You're trying to hit the ball really hard. And in order to oppose the angle of the ball, you have to make sure that you know what kind of shot you're trying to hit. If you are trying to hit a shot with a lot of topspin, slightly upwards, you need to make sure that in the contact point, the ball that's coming to you is coming slightly downwards, so you can really oppose the angle the ball comes in. So, if you're stepping back a little bit further, the ball will most likely come back down when you're about to hit it. Obviously, you have to adjust your footwork if a ball is shorter or deeper. Now from here, you're trying to make sure that your racket points slightly up when you're making contact with the ball, depending on how hard you want to hit it and how high you want to hit it. Now in the contact point, now that the ball is coming down and your racket is moving up, you got to make sure that you have your topspin lined up for yourself, or slice, depending on what you want to do, so you can actually hit the ball with a lot of power and a lot of topspin by using the trampoline effect to oppose the angle of the ball.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.